live from Newegg Studios in Southern California. This is Newegg Now. I'm Trisha Hirschberger.
I'm Juan Carlos Bagnell. We're here every Thursday, 10 a.m. Pacific time, live on YouTube, Facebook, and all over Newegg.com. I like seeing our banners all over Newegg.com.
Yeah,
makes me really happy. So if you haven't seen the show before, then welcome. And if you're a loyal and dedicated viewer, then welcome back. On Newegg Now, we chat with hardware industry experts, talk about the latest product releases, and occasionally even get to play some really fun games.
That's true.
That's true.
And of course, Newegg Now is also about deals on the hardware that you love, and here's how that works. First, go ahead and open up Newegg.com/Newegg Now if you're not there already. That's a page where you can watch along with this very live stream, and you can also find all of today's deals along with the promo codes that you need to save that monies. So Newegg Now deals are so good that they can only be live for a very limited time. The deals start when the show starts, so now. So they're all live right now, and they run through the end of the day or until supplies run out.
Truth. So if you're not already on Newegg.com/Newegg Now, on that deals page, you really should be. You can get the full details of all of the deals there today. Let's highlight just a few of them to get things started, like an EVGA GeForce GTX 1070 Ti graphics card for $95 off the normal price. Yes, the RTX cards are on the horizon. But the 1070 Ti is still a pretty savvy card.
Yes.
Still pretty powerful. It can handle the graphics needs of most of our viewers out there. So the 1070 Ti is a great GPU for traditional PC gaming and high resolution, even for VR. And $95 off with the promo code on the Newegg Now page.
There's also a great deal on one of the very best gaming laptops that money can buy right now, the Asus ROG Zephyrus. This is a system that's packing an NVIDIA GTX 1070 graphics card with Max-Q design, a 7th gen Intel i7 CPU, and a 120 Hz wide view display, all in a laptop body that's only 0.7 inches thick with the lid closed and which only weighs 4.9 pounds. So this is a VR ready laptop that's hard to beat in terms of sheer power, and it's a full $250 off what you would normally pay for it, only as a part of Newegg Now today.
And keeping that VR ready streak going,
Let's do it.
We also have the Zotac ZBox Magnus EN 1060K. So we've had Zotac on the show before, talking about their remarkable mini PCs, which boast the best size to performance ratios on the market. These little systems are only a bit bigger than your hand, yet you're getting the power of a GTX 1060 graphics card in your hand. So the Magnus is one of the smallest VR-capable mini PCs that you can buy today, and it's an incredible $170 off as a part of Newegg Now. If you're looking for a new pre-built PC that's outside the norms in terms of size and form factor, or maybe you're in a dorm room, you want to save some space, a ZBox is definitely worth a look.
So we've been talking so much about VR-ready hardware and systems, it must be time to talk about actual virtual reality. So stay right where you are, because we're going to be right back talking about the Oculus Rift and the latest games from Oculus Studios.
Welcome back. We're talking about virtual reality. So, I think we should talk about the Oculus.
But why not?
They've been one of the premier names in the VR world since consumer virtual reality really materialized just a few years ago. And they've continued to push the medium forward with new tech, like their touch controllers and their standalone Oculus Go headset. Have you had a chance to play with the Oculus Go?
I tried it out at VR LA, but only very briefly, I believe.
I have
How about
not.
you? Not yet?
I've spent some time with the main headset. The touch controllers are really nice. I really do like the touch controllers.
Yeah, I have
haven't really done
an
Oculus
OG
go yet.
Oculus at home.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm very familiar with Oculus.
Well, Oculus is also pushing the boundaries on software publishing via Oculus Studios.
PCVR has come way down in price, thank goodness, in the past couple of years, to the point that now you can get an Oculus Rift with 2 sensors and the touch controllers, all for just $399. If you have the PC hardware to run it already, VR is much more affordable than it was at launch, certainly.
Oh, definitely. And it gets even better if you jump on board the Oculus VR train right now. Because there's a special edition bundle available at the moment that includes 7 games. Most notably, it comes with Marvel Powers United VR.
Yay!
A game that lets you step into the shoes of some of the greatest heroes of the Marvel universe, of which I finally got a chance. Have you played it? Because I just played it this morning.
I also just played it this morning for the very first time.
Just played it this morning for the very first time.
Good morning. In Marvel Powers United, you can play as one of 18 Marvel heroes, including Captain America, the Hulk, Wolverine, Storm, Black Widow, and even Deadpool.
You gotta have Deadpool. So it's actually a pretty diverse and surprising roster of Marvel characters, which is kind of cool. I think a lot of people might assume that that it would just be the MCU.
Yes.
Just the cinematic universe characters, obvious tie-ins, Rocket Raccoon, Black Panther, they're enjoying a lot of popularity thanks to the films. But this game instantly thrusts you into like X-Men villains, and you played as Storm in your first run.
I played as Storm on my first run through.
Right.
Yeah, it was
so,
great.
I mean, I was Star-Lord, because
Of course.
because gotta. But that mix also seems to kind of include, like at launch, the mix seems to include things like Thor is his more classic comic look
and
than the current film look.
It looks like the more you play it, you'll be able to unlock different skins for the characters. So we'll get a little bit more into the kind of comics and maybe away from the MCU, I'm guessing, with that, or the characters that start in their more traditional source material look. Maybe we'll get an MCU look for them eventually, etc. So let's go ahead and talk about how the basics of this game, the basics of how this game actually works. Marvel Powers United is a 4-player wave shooter / brawler, depending on what character you choose. By default, the game pairs you with 3 other players when you start a match, but you can also play solo and have the computer take control of your AI teammates. Now, in the world of the story, villains like Thanos, Loki, and Hydra are teaming up to destroy the world, and you, of course, need to fight off waves of enemy grunts and bosses while you defend checkpoints in a style that's very similar to VR hits like Robo Recall on raw data.
Yeah, so different characters obviously have different abilities, and it's fun to see the different synergies that you can develop with your teammates, even with the AI. Like, I had Doctor Strange and Storm side by side. So they're all flying around, and I'm just kind of running like, I'm shooting my guns. So I thought that was a nice little like character balancing aspect that you kind of don't want like just all energy. I kind of wish that we'd had like a Hulk, for some of the battle. Like you actually felt like, oh, this team kind of should have been. Kind of like when you get into Overwatch, like, oh, we need someone over here.
Yeah.
Oh, no, everyone wants to be snipers. All right, that's cool.
We've got no support.
No support.
Yeah, maybe that's something that in the matchmaking in the future they'll highlight in an update or something like that. That would be really interesting. One of the things I really liked about the game, playing it, is really seeing in VR and really being immersed into the different POV of the characters. So something they talked a lot about when this game first. Not launched, but when we saw like the first teasers and the first trailers, was if you're playing as the Hulk, your POV is way higher up, and you feel like the Hulk when you're walking through these levels. And when I was playing as Storm, being able to fly so quickly up into the air and attack from above, looking down like that. It is really cool.
Because I was like, I didn't really have his jump mechanic down. So the entire time, like, I'm trying to kill Loki, and I'm just shooting his feet as, like, Storm and Doctor Strange are attacking him from the air. Like, I'll get him from the ground, guys, go!
Doesn't Star-Lord have a dance maneuver, too? Did you get into that at all?
I didn't get it, no. So I figured out how to do, like, he has an ice blast, and he can do different elemental damages. Yeah. And so that was really cool. So I figured all that stuff out. But my jump mechanic really was just like, I've got rocket boots! And I slammed myself into a wall. Like, it was pretty bad.
Like you do.
Like you do.
So we need to spend more time with the game. But I'm seeing here in our notes that Star-Lord's ultimate is called Dance Party.
Yeah.
And it disables all the enemies in the area through the power of awesome music. Like you do. I love it. I love it. That's
Good
perfect.
times. So, when you successfully complete a mission in one of the game's different stages, you get to celebrate by posing for a mocked-up comic book cover along with your allies, which is it's a nice touch. It's a fun touch. Unlike a lot of VR games, there's actually a ton of content to unlock as you spend more time with Marvel Powers United.
That's cool.
So, as we said, there are 18 different characters to play, all of which are unlocked at the start, and all of them have multiple achievements associated with them, which you earn by using their different abilities.
Nice.
So achievements give you XP, earn you trophies, cosmetic upgrades, like those include alternate costumes, different victory poses. You even get to feed Lockjaw. Like one of them, if you go to the trophy room, that's where Lockjaw's food bowl is. Like, but you need to. You need to do well if you're going to give your dog food. So
Of course, that's
you
the
don't
way
want
that life
Lockjaw
works, really.
Yeah, true story.
So there's a lot more we could say about Marvel Powers United, which, remember, comes for free with a new Oculus, with the new limited edition package. There are special team combo abilities, boss battles against Venom and Thanos himself, and tons of Marvel Easter eggs. It's also worth mentioning that the game uses an optional visual effect designed to minimize motion sickness. This is really cool because Juan and I are both kind of subject to this. I felt like it was helpful for me. I know you were still a little...
I still got a little queasy.
Okay,
So
it helps me. So maybe on the grand spectrum of how queasy you get.
So here's the thing that I really like about this mechanic, though. So from the very first time I put on VR and did the Ghostbusters VR game, that game really was all teleport.
Yes.
So what I think Marvel has done, this Marvel Powers United has done a good job of, is there is like a normal strafing, like you can take one of the thumb triggers and do a normal strafe. The movement on that instantly made me feel a little queasy.
Okay,
But
a lot of people have a hard time with
But
that.
on the same controller, you've got the teleport mechanic too. So you can head turn teleport over, and I was fine with that.
Okay.
So having that option, there are going to be some people who the disorienting teleport mechanic might jar them, and it's really hard to keep track of in the frenzy of you trying to kill all these guys. Like maybe that's a pain. But then for people who are a little more sensitive or a little queasier like I am, and you don't want to have to do that strafe mechanic, you've got an option.
So, yeah,
I'm really happy to see that choice.
Yeah, a lot of games are giving a choice now, but what they're actually doing in this game is that they blacken the peripheral of your view, but only while you're moving, and it's not noticeable. So it's not like it jumps in and out of that. It kind of fades in, almost like a vignette or something like that.
Oh, totally
where it fades into the sides. And it was unnoticeable to me while I was playing, except for I was like, oh man, I can actually strafe without feeling ill. This is cool. So yeah, that's a feature that's becoming more popular in the latest VR titles, and it's helping to improve the comfort of VR for maybe those who are more sensitive to nausea.
Then people who are just really sensitive like me will just have to figure something else out.
It's okay,
but
buddy.
That's okay.
Okay.
Anyway, so of course there are 6 more free games you get with the new Oculus. Robo Recall from Epic Games, one of the most highly polished shooters available in VR. Lucky's Tale, that's a platformer. Also accessible for younger, more casual gamers. I made the mistake of putting a VR headset on Lex to show her Beat Saber.
Oh no.
Now she, like, anytime she sees the head, I want to put that on.
Oh, that's great. I thought you were going to say she, like, freaked out and got ill.
Well, no, she freaked out, like in a good way.
She loved it.
Freaked out.
Well,
she loved it, and now that was a dumb thing for me to show a 3-year-old.
Now you need Lucky's Tale, obviously.
So now I need to look at a good platformer like Lucky's Tale. There's Quill, which is a VR illustration and animation tool. Also maybe more toddler appropriate. And then there's Medium, there's Dead and Buried, there's Toy Box. Again, 7 awesome games that really show off the huge variety of experiences that you can enjoy in modern VR.
Yeah, that's a great bundle. A lot of these games that we're mentioning are Oculus exclusives as well, which is a big deal.
Yeah.
Oculus Studios gets involved publishing a lot of these titles since VR development is an expensive proposition while the consumer base still remains so small. That makes it kind of hard. So there are a number of games like Marvel Powers United, like Robo Recall, and like the super popular Echo Arena, Lone Echo, and soon to be released Echo Combat games, all of which you can only officially play on the Oculus Rift. Have you had a chance to try any of the Echo games?
I have not.
So
I really
good.
wanted to
Do
that.
it. We need to do it.
So I really want to jump on board that.
Yeah.
So if you want to take advantage of this limited edition deal, head over to newegg.com/Newegg now, or I mean, you can search Newegg for the Oculus Rift and select the Marvel Powers United Special Edition package. I'm gonna say that again. The Marvel Powers United Special Edition package. You can buy the Oculus Rift with the touch controllers. This is my first time playing with the touch controllers, and they're real nice.
Oh, well, I feel like any VR experience nowadays, we've come so far, you need an immersive touch solution. We're no longer at the place where we have, for most titles, where you have a headset and an Xbox controller or a keyboard mouse.
No. So the headset, controllers, sensors, additional games, $399.
Great deal. So we've talked a lot about all of the amazing software that you can get for the Oculus Rift. Now let's talk about the hardware that you need to run said software. You'll want a fairly solid gaming build, but luckily you've come to the right place for that. This is Newegg. We already told you about the Zotac Z-Box and the Asus Zephyrus laptop, both of which are VR ready. But we've also got some more options for you, like a refurbished Razer RZ09 laptop with a 1060 GPU for $350 off. This is a great way to break into VR and save some serious money on a portable PC.
I mean, I've been doing the mobile rounds with an old beat up Razer laptop to show off VR, so like it works pretty well. Yeah, it's a great way to show it off. So a lot of people are excited that small form factor PCs are finally VR capable, like the Zotac 1060 box we mentioned at the start of the show. But if you're looking to put together a more custom experience, you could check out the ASRock Desk Mini GTX 1080. As you could probably tell by the name, I mean, no big mystery there. This particular model comes with a GTX 1080 GPU. Hey! There you go. That means it's more than VR capable. Right. It's a bare bones system, meaning you install your own CPU and storage, and you can spec it out however you want for your particular needs.
This is a tiny micro STX build, but even though it's small, it has room for 3 M.2 drives. It's one of the smallest gaming computers around, so if you want a fancy VR rig right next to your TV, say, that you can work on yourself, the ASRock Desk Mini GTX 1080 is perfect. And you can get a discount on it right now on that Newegg Now page. Even better, it comes with 8 gigabytes of G.Skill Ripjaws DDR4 2400 speed RAM. So all you need is storage and a CPU of your choice. Put together the tiny VR gaming rig of your dreams right now.
Remember, there are plenty of additional deals up and down the Newegg Now page, so browse, shop, and save some cash.
So that's going to do it for our look at Oculus. We'll be right back, and we're going to be talking audio tech with Creative Labs.
Yeah, we are. Those of you who watch the show regularly know we're pretty into audio around here. I'm super into audio around
here.
I don't know. I like my ears, and I like feeding them quality stuff. So we often talk about how not enough attention is paid to audio, especially when it comes to gaming. A high-end screen, G-Sync capable monitors, super beefy graphics cards, high refresh rates, HDR, ray tracing is on the horizon. But if you're going all out for your setup, don't leave an excellent audio experience on the table. Just don't do it. It's important.
Fortunately for all of us, the talented people over at Creative Labs love audio just as much as Juan and many of us out there, maybe even more than we do.
Maybe probably
and
even
here
more.
to talk to us about all of that, we have Ryan from Creative Labs. Welcome back, Ryan.
Hey, thank you guys.
Welcome back.
Yeah, I get to talk about other stuff. Like,
Yes.
last
some
time
new
we were
gear.
talking about the streaming stuff, and
Oh, it
this
was cool.
time I'm talking about the delivery stuff.
I spent
So,
some time with that streaming box.
Rock on.
That was a very ambitious piece of kit.
It's a pretty interesting piece of kit. Like, there's a lot crammed into that little tiny box.
But I had to test. You were saying like, hey, it connects to your phone. And I was like, oh, I'm going to a park.
Yeah, for sure.
I brought a whole podcasting
Yeah.
rig out to a park.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
just before we jump into
Yeah.
to talk about what you're here to talk about
Yep.
today, can you just remind people watching what you do with Creative Labs, your title?
So technically, I'm a product marketing manager. So I'm responsible for the U.S. and kind of worldwide for the brand, and you know. But lately, I've kind of become the, I guess, evangelist. You know, you did a great job on your message, by the way. That was a great delivery because it's the truth. You know, I'm a hardware nerd. I've been into audio and you know, I mean, I remember video was what got me into PCs initially. Orchid Righteous 3D, like way back in the day, 3D effects stuff, and then the Riva 128, and then, you know, collected everything even as a kid, spending my money on it. But Sound Blaster was like, there was two experiences from my PC world that I remember vividly like rocked my world. One was plugging in the Righteous 3D and playing Tomb Raider, the very first Tomb Raider with a 3D effects generated card, and it was like, oh my God, I have an arcade machine at home. And my poor little 386, whatever it was like, I'm trying, man. The second thing was plugging in Wing Commander with a Sound Blaster card and the audio pack. And voices came from the computer versus little bleeps and bloops.
Exactly.
And your wingman was talking to you.
Yeah.
And those are the two mind-blowing things. And then from there, I did a bunch of stuff. But I ended up at Sound Blaster. I came to Sound Blaster because I loved audio so much. You know, I'm a musician, and I do a lot of stuff in music, and audio has just been part of my life. So it's been a big, you know, push there. And so there's these two worlds that I live in. I love the video stuff. You know, I already have my NVIDIA already has me reeled in. I have my card. You know, I know all my AMD lovers out there. I'm sorry. I'm a geek. I'm going to go where the technology is.
It's always been our assertion. The arms race is good for everybody.
Absolutely. And that's what I love is that the one-upping is happening, right?
So I'm all about it.
Good for consumers.
Yeah, I'm all about, I'll go wherever. I don't care, man. Loyalty with me is not, it's not easily acquired. It's all about what you deliver.
Not easily retained.
Yes, exactly, yes. But audio, you know, the audio side of things, it's harder to explain to people. So they like to get me out in front because it's talking about the value of it, right? You know, we live in a society now where audio has been relegated pretty low level. You know, you listen to audio on YouTube, you listen to audio in your car. Everything is really kind of compressed to oblivion. There's not a lot of dynamic range.
The convenience argument won out for a lot of...
Yeah, absolutely.
And it feels like it was a holdover of the old, like, iPod days.
Yes.
How many songs can you put on your iPod?
Yes, the storage wars.
Right?
Yeah.
So we went through that, and then that mentality kind of stuck for at least 2 whole generations of consumers.
Absolutely. And now, you know, like my daughter, for instance, you know, she's 12. And she listens to YouTube on a speakerphone on her phone, and that's cool. Like for her, that's music. That's it. But then I go and I plug in an iRoar, one of our boxes, and she's like, "Oh my God, this is so different." And that translates all the way up the chain. And so it's one of those things that we make products that make audio better across the board. And traditionally, we've kind of been locked into the PC side. You know, we started off as Sound Blaster. We worked our way through there. We've been, you know, we're celebrating our 30th anniversary coming up here.
Wow.
We actually have some cool products coming out later this year that are actually branded with that. So it's a big deal for us.
Right.
And you look at technology companies, and there's not a lot of technology companies in the PC world that have lived that long.
No.
So we got a tremendous legacy. And what we've done now is we're kind of pushing this along. And so what I'm out there doing is I'm making sure the products are right. They're what people want. Listening to feedback from everybody. You know.
And I'm sure like a big part of that also being the educational side of it.
Absolutely.
I know in some of my conversations, even talking about like smartphones and headphones and things like that, there's a lot of assumed information, which is often incorrect.
Yes.
And then you have to untangle that before you can even get to the conversation.
Yeah. There's lore. There's lore. Like, you know, creative, we have this lore surrounding us from 20 years ago. People are still complaining about, oh, your drivers are huge and blah, blah. And it's like, that hasn't been the case for going on 10 years now, right?
Yeah.
But there's this lore that kind of, when you've been around for a long time, you have the advantage of having that brand, but you also have the
baggage. Right.
and that lore with you. And so
let's undo some of that lore, because I definitely want to jump in here, because you're here to talk about
the G6.
This isn't even officially, so this is going
it's dropping now on Newegg.
Like literally
this
today.
is literally dropping. It's been on the market. I think it's going live on Newegg today.
Wow.
Nice.
So it's available now.
I was looking it up yesterday on my show notes, and you're like, but wait, I can't buy it anymore.
So that's why we wanted to save it, and we came to Newegg because it's the customer. Newegg has the customer that this product is designed for easily. It's a beast. This thing is an absolute beast.
Well, we also have some video too. I think we can play some of that while we're talking about this underneath.
Perfect. Yeah.
This is what, the second I saw the sort of side packaging, I hadn't even considered. We were talking before the show of augmenting console gaming audio.
Yep.
And I've just been taking it for granted. Like, I now have 3 consoles plugged into a TV right by my computer desk.
Yep.
That, I mean, I don't really want to use my TV speakers.
No. And I'll tell you right now, whenever we talk about console audio, we've always been locked to whatever the console gives you.
Yeah.
Right? So that's the spec you're locked to. Whatever the console decides to deliver, you have optical out, so you can always plug it into a really expensive receiver and get that experience on the other end. And what we've done now, because we're able to deploy our audio technology in a portable solution now, fully hardware accelerated, and that's the biggest difference, is this isn't something that can be done by anybody but us, because we're the only people that have an audio chip that actually accelerates audio and does all of this processing standalone.
Yeah.
Right.
Otherwise, you would have to have a driver layer and a CPU running all of this, which is what everybody else is doing.
Right.
This is all built on the chip. So once we developed the SBX1 chipset and we've figured out ways to deploy it, it's unlocked us. So the mind-blowing thing for me has been plugging this into my Nintendo Switch. I love the Switch. I've kind of, me and my daughter have one. We play Fortnite together and all this stuff.
Nice.
And, but I've been playing Dead Cells lately, and Dead Cells is a ridiculously good game. I'm not here to plug them, but the soundtrack in it. So it sounded great. Yeah, I'm listening on earbuds. I'm doing whatever it is, my headphones. And then we get the G6 prototypes, they plug it in, and I can't even, and I'm the guy that's shilling the products, right? Like I'm the, hey man, this is awesome. I'm telling you, it was ridiculous. Like there are a few times now where I'm surprised when it comes to our products, because I'm just expect us to sound good. I expect the engineers to blow me away. This was, I plugged it in, I turned on the dynamic surround, I enabled everything, got my profile set, and it completely changed the way that game sounded. It moved from this 2D, Metroidvania thing, and the soundscape kind of made it have this third dimension. And I've never heard anything like that before on a portable, on a Nintendo 3DS or any of my, freaking. I even bought the Atari Lynx way back in the day.
Altered
it was the
Beast
bomb
on the
though,
Lynx.
dude. Lynx was the bomb.
It was
but,
awesome.
Yes, but the battery life was like 6 minutes or something like that. So you're like, I got to get to this level before I run out of batteries. I've never had that experience on a portable before. And then with the PS4, you can plug it straight in USB. So we've done the engineering that it's recognized as a surround device over USB. It's native, you plug it in. And that's what bore from the G5 to the G6 was the G5 was really crazy popular in Japan. In Japan, the G5 took off. And in the States, it didn't have that same vibe to it. And I think it was because it was we're mostly known as a PC-centric thing.
Gotcha.
So for us, we got PC on lock. Nobody can compete with us with our hardware and whatever it is, at least at the level we are. There's viable solutions out there, but again, we have the advantage of having that hardware processor and then 30 years of dedicated engineering. And we have engineers. We're not relying on a third party for our engineering. We can do it all in-house.
And so some of the specs, we're talking about a high-res gaming DAC, USB sound card, 130 decibel DNR,
range,
32-bit, 384 kilohertz DAC.
Yeah.
So this thing can reproduce frequencies of sound
You
that
can't
dogs can't hear.
I mean, dogs and like flatworms and stuff can't even hear this thing, right? And that's... so people go, well, you can't even hear that, right? But true audiophile. So for 150 bucks, that's the price point.
Right.
And I think we have a special actually with Newegg
Yeah,
too.
we'll
Go into that.
We'll cover
yeah,
this a bit.
but for 150 bucks, you're not going to find anything with the spec that this has.
Right.
Like 32-bit, 384 kilohertz. It goes down to 1 ohm impedance for listening. You can use this with multi-$1,000 in-ear monitors if you wanted to, all the way up to 600 ohm headphones, which means you can use super high-end studio monitors, even the Sennheiser 800s series you can use.
You can really drive this.
You could drive anything with this. And that 32-bit, 384 kilohertz, what that allows us to do is you can raise the resolution up. And when we process audio, we get a lot more headroom. So we're able to process the audio without diminishing the quality of the signal. So most people aren't going to notice it, but if you have a fine-tuned ear, and, well, actually, I shouldn't say that. People will notice it.
They won't have the language to
They won't
describe
have the
it,
language.
right.
They will say things like, when we put this in front of our pro gamers and we put this in front of the average public, they'll say, it just sounds better.
Right.
And when you say, well, what does better mean? And they just say, it sounds more real, or it sounds buttery. My favorite one is buttery. And I'm like, buttery is
Buttery
good.
like a Chardonnay.
Yeah,
Gentlemen,
yeah.
I hate to interrupt, but very quickly for those of you at home, a note from the
sorry.
studio. If you're
Guilty
having
moderator.
issues getting a hold of this new product from Creative on the Newegg Now deals page right now, keep trying. It's not actually out of stock, even if that's what you're seeing right now. And we're working behind the scenes to
fix
get that
that.
fixed. So just refresh that page and it'll show up soon. Keep trying because you don't want to miss out on that sweet deal.
Because it is discounted $15 off.
Yeah.
So
Right.
It's already pretty good price. I'm
Yeah.
gonna go back.
And that's not something that's not something we regularly do, right? When you
Right.
launch, but it was something that when we talked with Newegg and we said, hey, this is the demographic, these are the people that get it. They want the best. A lot of them have probably gone out like me and pre-ordered a very, very expensive graphics card, and this is literally like 1/10 of that high-end graphics card that I
from
pre-ordered.
Creative's position, because again, like I got to spend some time with the K3 Plus.
Yeah.
What has that conversation looked like internally? Because we've had so many. We had a Twitter conversation talking about some of our favorite laptop manufacturers, and we can talk 32-bit audio till the cows come home, and then I plug in my headphones, and the amp is anemic.
Yes, exactly.
So yes, I have 32-bit audio, I just can't hear it
Yeah.
on anything decent. So what has that conversation looked like internally at Creative as you've been trying to preach the gospel of audio?
And that's
for this
really what it is.
population?
It's giving the sermons and it's getting out in front of people and showing people the difference and engaging in places that we haven't traditionally engaged. Like, we have a Reddit subthread now where we can go in and I'm conversing with people directly and saying, hey, we'll take the challenge. Like, tell me, do A/B, you'll know. The magic all happens at trade shows.
Nice.
Because the thing about audio, and I said this the last time I was here, is you can't show it to somebody, right? So the graphics guys all have that advantage of, hey, here's picture A, here's picture B. Picture B is a lot prettier.
Hey, check out this ray tracing.
Yeah, check out Tomb Raider and see it off and on. And it's like, oh, I must buy. Like, it sucks in guys like me, and I'm frantically hitting the refresh page to see if I can pre-order my card. Audio is one of those things where it's experiential. You have to experience it or take that leap of faith. And so for me, it's all about getting the product in people's hands so that they can speak for us. Because I can say it till the cows come home. And people, I do a Facebook stream for us now, and we've been having awesome response from people saying, hey, I bought a sound card, you were right. And that's the best thing to hear is A, cool, you bought something, that means I get to keep my job. But B, when people say, I had no idea what I was missing, I've bought into, motherboard is good enough or baseline is good enough. And yes, it's passable, but just like another analogy, I had a great analogy come in from somebody I was talking to on Twitter. And one of them was, yeah, man, it's like before I was looking at 480p or 720p. Because I was trying to use a VHS analogy, and then I realized somebody doesn't even know, like my daughter's age and up doesn't even know what a VHS is. They'd be like, what are you talking about? So I was like, okay, what about 480p and 720p, right? So normal audio from even a high-end audio system in a PC or whatever, it's like a 480p, 720p resolution of what you get. You get that, and it's good, it's passable. Okay, yeah, I could watch that, no problem. But when you see 1080 or you see 4K, which is what this is, the equivalent of 4K in the audio sense, you never want to go back. You can never unsee that difference between the two. And so my goal is to try and show that to as many people as possible and get them to experience it, because you kind of rob yourself when you're not bringing the audio up to that high spec. People go out for a Super Bowl and buy massive 80-inch TVs and 4K and all
then
this
play
stuff.
the game off the speakers
And they're playing
in the TV.
it off the speakers on the TV,
Right.
and it's like half the story. Audio is literally half the story. I was thinking the other day, another analogy. Why are the Star Wars movies so popular? And one of the reasons, I just went a few weeks ago and I was able to watch Return of the Jedi with the San Francisco Symphony playing live, right?
At Hollywood Bowl?
Yeah, well, no, this was actually in San Francisco. So it was at the San Francisco Symphony. But yeah, same thing. They have it down here too. And I got emotional, like visibly emotional, right? Teared up. And I'm one of those weird guys that I probably get a lot of hate on this, but I think Return of the Jedi is the best. I know.
Okay.
I know.
No, that's fine.
I'm not an Empire guy.
We already talked about Thor
Ragnarok. I know, but I love
As
Return of
long
the
as you don't
Jedi.
say The Last Jedi, you're welcome.
No. Yes, I know. That's I'm not wading into that firestorm. I will keep my mouth shut on that one. That's like going into politics. You don't talk about it.
She took the hit on that.
Yeah, don't take. Yeah, you learned your lesson, right? But I got emotional. And it was because the audio. Yeah. The video was actually not great. It was an okay screen, it was all right, but it was a projector and it wasn't
but
super.
You can feel the strings.
Man, being able to hear the musicians and feel the strings, and like one of the things about this, I was listening to one of my favorite soundtracks the other day, which is again, people don't like the movie, but Tron Legacy, right?
Oh, yeah.
The soundtrack from Daft Punk is ridiculous.
Yeah.
I was listening to this at the highest bit rate, and I actually could hear, and I kid you not, you can hear the woodwinds in the symphonic places, the keys being pressed on the symphonic things. You can hear people shuffling paper on their stands when that was in the recording process, and that's the level of detail you can get to, and that creates the immersion that you're looking for. And that could be in anything from listening to music, but like me and my daughter, we're both playing with switches on Fortnite. We put on scout mode, and now me and her as a duo, we hear people running through houses like well before we are creeping in on them. She's like, "Dad, there's somebody on the second floor." I'm like, "You are awesome. You are my ninja in training." Yeah, she's the leader, man. I'm the one covering her back because she's got it down.
So for people at home who don't have the ability to have an A/B comparison because they're not at a trade show or something like that, let's just kind of talk about some of the on paper pros and cons or advantages and disadvantages of internal audio versus external audio.
Yeah, so the biggest thing obviously with the external solution is going to be you can pop it anywhere you want to.
Right.
You're not tied to a PC. The AE5 is an awesome piece of kit. If you have a beast of a PC and you want to pimp it out, the AE5 is still your Huckleberry. It's going to be, this is essentially an AE5 external.
Okay.
So but this has a few tricks up its sleeve that the AE5 doesn't even have. So you take this external, and now you can use it with your Switch with an OTG cable or connected directly to the dock, or your PS4. Either USB or optical, or your Xbox One optical, right? We don't support voice on the Xbox because Microsoft likes to proprietarily lock things down.
It's like your company and Microsoft have had a fun couple decades.
We actually are great partners, but I do want to say direct audio getting nuked was not a happy juncture in our
I've seen
companies.
so many interviews
Yes.
with you people
Oh
asking
yeah,
about
you
direct
know.
audio.
That's like talking about Last Jedi, dude. I'll get all fired up.
I had to put that in there.
Things
I'm
will
sorry.
happen.
I could feel your blood pressure
Yeah,
rise.
I'm like, all right. I have my pressure
Just
meds.
run.
I'm just starting popping aspirin here. Don't mind me. So advantage one is portable. Plug it into anything now, and that's the biggest message for us is, hey, this is going to make anything sound better. That whether you're gaming or listening to it, you can even use it. We don't claim Android support, but you can plug it into phones, and if your phone supports that, it will work. Cool. It's going to drain your battery, but it will work, right?
Yeah, I mean, like I'm a grown up, I can make that choice.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and for what you get from it, I think you'll be pretty blown away. Awesome. But this also has a few other things built into it. One is we have side tone now for the first time. So we have side tone for voice, separates your voice and your audio channels, right? So it's been found in mix amps previously, and people have asked us for it continuously. Hey, we want to be able to control our voice audio, our loop back, and the other audio separately, either down or higher. So we've added that, and that's all controlled through the interface here. This also has a Dolby decoder built into it, a hardware Dolby decoder.
Very nice.
So you plug this in, to your TV that's popping out the Dolby, encoded signal, or your PS4 or your Xbox One. This is going to decode that in hardware, and it's going to virtualize it over your headphones or even out to your speakers. And this also will do speaker, or it'll output the speakers, or it'll output the headphones. And actually, in your driver setup on the PC, you can click between the two because it actually optimizes itself for both profiles.
More of like a line out. Versus
Yeah. And again, the biggest one for me personally is this is sitting on my desk. And I don't got to reach around behind the PC and plug my headphones in, or I have
well, because we can't count on the days of having like a 5 1/4 bay.
No, exactly.
Up front to have a breakout box.
Yeah. Now
those days are gone.
Well, there's some cool stuff we have coming a little bit later that people will bring back some of the good love. But the other thing also is, it's gonna sound weird, but I like knobs. Like I'm a knob guy. Like I came from the audio video world, and like there's nothing as great as a great, I know it sounds weird, doesn't it? Like everybody's looking at me like, he didn't just say he likes knobs, did he? But like if you have a good jog shuttle dial, a feel of it, or really.
We just got a control surface for our video editor in there.
Yeah.
I'm an audio guy and went over and started.
And you start playing with it, you want to touch it, you want to spin it. Yeah, exactly. You're like, don't mind me, I'm just going to be in the corner turning
Real quick before we kind of get into some of the wrap-up thoughts, one of the things I definitely wanted to pick your brain on, X-Amp.
Yes.
So a discrete headphone amplifier. There's a lot of confusion. I was on an Android podcast where it's like everyone is now just sort of generically using the word DAC because of headphone dongles and things like that.
Yes.
And so when I saw that this is a discrete dual amp setup, that's not a 2-stage amp.
No, it's a bi-amp.
So can you explain the differences on that?
So the thing that we're doing here is if you have a normal amplifier going to headphones, you got one channel you got one power source that's splitting into your left and right? So at the end stage it goes out, it splits to the left and right channel, and the power is all being delivered through one pipe, so to speak. With X-Amp, which is in the AE5 and the G6, each channel has its own amplifier. So the left channel is amplified completely independently of the right channel. So instead of having one channel that splits, one pipe that splits, you have 2 pipes, one going to each direct thing. And that makes again, it's one of those things that makes a huge difference in dynamic scenes where you have a lot of stuff buried on the left and the right side is kind of low, or a lot happening in both channels and a lot of detail. Having that amplifier powering each channel independently means that all the details are going to be there, and if you got the headphones that can handle that power and that delivery, you're going to get all the details, and it's not going to be sacrificed as the amp tries to balance out where you're going.
Now, is that going to have any effect on stuff like harmonic distortion and stereo crosstalk?
Yeah.
Like, does that help clean?
Yeah, it keeps a cleaner signal overall because you don't get, everything is going through its own pipe, so to speak, right? But actually, it's a great question. I should put some more info on that because there is research that we've done on that does that. It's a great angle. I should look at that for you.
Well, if you just want to.
No, seriously, no. That's a fantastic question. One that there's a lot of benefits to the bi-amplification, and typically it's uncommon, and you only see it in very, very, very high-end, most of the time home theater systems where they bi-amplify each channel of the
It's even been a long time that I've been in a studio that had separate XLR connectors for left and right channel on wearable monitors.
You got it.
It's been a while.
Yeah. So for us, it's about how can we possibly make this better, and we're always looking for it. So X-Amp is one of those things. So this thing isn't just about specs, it's about we're delivering an experience. That's how we look at it. You have the custom profiles you can save into the device. Everything is viewable on here. Scout mode, like I mentioned before, that's like constantly on in Fortnite. I'm telling you right now, man. You want to raise your kills per game, G6 is going to do it. Turn on scout mode, and now you have bionic ears. And I'm all about better fighting through superior weaponry, right? This is something to add to your arsenal. You could turn off and on too, because a lot of audiophiles don't want to hear processed audio if they're just listening to music or whatever it is. So you can defeat all of that. It can play in direct mode, so you can go in there and go direct from the source and bypass all of the different processing and just take advantage of the awesome headphone amp, the X-Amp, and then also the DAC that's inside of it as well.
Gorgeous.
So besides upping your game at Fortnite, I know we have to wrap things up, so are there any other thoughts that you would like to share about the BlasterX G6?
I think the biggest thing is completing the picture. You spend so much time looking at the audio. or the video, and we spend so much time obsessing about performance of the video side that the entire reason why most of us game is to have an experience, right? Like we want to be rocked, we want to have those moments hit us. And going back to the Symphony thing, if Star Wars didn't have the music that it has, if it didn't have the soundtrack that it has, it wouldn't be a very good movie.
No.
Like seriously, you think about how much the audio and the music adds to that picture. It's the same thing with games. These gaming developers go out and they spend countless hours developing audio for these games, you know, immersive audio, and a lot of that detail is lost when you're playing it on inferior gear. So our goal is to make sure that all those audio engineers and people are well represented with superior audio technology, and that's what we're here for.
You see how many people are buying game soundtracks on vinyl now? Like people want
and
better
vinyl.
I know.
It's
I know.
ridiculous.
People are hungry for this.
Oh, it makes me so happy.
Yeah, it does. Oh man, that's a whole nother show, but yeah.
Right?
Yeah, so that's what it's all about. for us.
Totally. Well, thank you so much for coming in. It's always such
Cool.
a pleasure
Yeah,
to
thank
have
you
you
guys
on
for
the
having me.
show.
I can't wait to take a listen.
Yeah, you're going
I'm
to
really
be blown
stoked
away.
about it.
I'm very confident.
Excellent.
Awesome.
Alrighty.
Please come back soon.
Thank you. Yes, thank you for having me.
Because you teased there's going to be more stuff.
Yes, there will be.
Okay, good. So, if you're interested in the creative Sound BlasterX G6 sound card, we've been discussing that. I've been nerding out over. You can pick it up right now on Newegg now, newegg.com/Newegg now. That deals page, discounted for today only, saving $15 off the normal price. So remember, if it looks like it's out of stock, please keep trying to refresh that page. I think maybe a few of our Newegg ninjas were a little surprised by the interest in the product, and we're melting some servers, which makes us super happy here at Newegg.
Yes, it does.
Yeah, good time.
So speaking of game audio, I think it's time to switch gears and start playing a game, huh?
Yeah, it is.
It's Trisha's favorite part of the show. We've got a new indie lined up that just came out this week. We'll be right back, ready to take a trip to Donut County.
You are going to love this game.
Yes. Donut County is the latest game from developer Ben Esposito, who has previously worked on games like Tattletale, What Remains of Edith Finch, one of my favorites, and the Sonic Dreams collection. He's known for games that are weird, funny, full of hidden depths, and Donut County is no exception. So Donut County is a story-filled physics puzzle game where you play as a hole in the ground. It's actually based on an idea from a Peter Molyneux parody Twitter account, so it was pretty unconventional game right from the start.
I was reading the script and I was like, oh, from Peter Molyneux. A Peter Molyneux parody account was the inspiration for this game.
Yeah, I remember first seeing like little teases of this game and thinking, that looks interesting.
Oh,
so
this
I'm
is so
really
up your
excited to
alley.
finally jump in.
This is like if I could design in a lab a perfect single sitting gaming experience for Trisha.
For Trisha, okay,
I was
wow,
like,
okay.
this is it. So Donut County released this week for PC, PS4, and Apple devices. And you know, we could talk about it forever, but I think it makes sense to just play it.
Let's just do it.
So I'm gonna pass the wheel over to you.
Thank you.
I want you to dive right in.
Okay.
I want you to tell us what you think.
Okay, let's
see
do it.
if I was on point. So definitely cut from the cloth of games like Katamari, right? Mm-hmm. You know, you're moving your little.
I'm just eating stuff.
But every time you acquire more material, it increases the size of the hole, allowing you to get other things as you go through.
You know what I just thought? I'm on the internet, so I'm gonna have to avoid saying my hole as much as possible.
As much as possible is probably good. I don't know that it's any
Whoa.
better if I discuss. Uh-oh. Snake danger.
Snake danger. What is that? I have like a tentacle or something.
Because now you
Oh,
gotta...
now I can knock that chicken off, huh? Hey, chicken, chicken, chicken.
So that's what I thought was so interesting about the game, were all of the different mechanics.
Can I?
That it's not just a level clearing game.
Okay, well that's not. Oh, I can turn him. I can turn this guy. I can swing that guy, but.
Well, and you should be able to do like an action with the snake tail.
I'm trying to figure that out. I'm pressing buttons right now. I guess I can like. Nope, nope, nope. Let's see. You've played this part before, so you know.
I want to see if you can. I mean,
figure it out, right?
We kind of threw you in like 3 levels higher.
Oh, there we go.
There you go.
Snake danger. Oh, so there's more snake danger now. But I'm like, is my tentacle the snake? I'm not really sure.
You ate a snake and now the snake.
Got it.
There you go.
Okay, so 2 chickens down. Snake danger is now on high alert.
That's what I really like, is that it's a quirky, really funky puzzler, but that the mechanics are...
There's a button. Hey, chicken. Oh, man.
Oh, no!
I exploded it. More snakes?
Oh, the snakes.
What is this? Snakes on a plane? So many snakes. Why is there just a water tower full of snakes? These are the important questions.
I really feel like most small towns probably have a water tower full of snakes.
You know, and chickens.
And chickens.
Will the snakes eat the chickens?
Oh, I'm sure they will.
Okay.
But there's just something so satisfying too. Like I got to play this a couple days before we put this up on the show. I'm clearing out this level mechanic. It's so peaceful and it's so like pristine and like look, like everything's all clean.
And for all the chat we had about audio, the soundtrack in this adds so much to it because even though we're just destroying things haphazardly, the music is so calming.
And the whole story part, because I haven't finished the game yet, but the whole story part plays into like a very, like if it weren't so bright and happy and cartoony, that the whole people talking.
Very dark.
It's very dark. It's almost a little unsettling in the most like friendly way possible.
This is really funny. Look at this Trashopedia of everything I've eaten.
Yeah, it's pretty delicious.
This is pretty hilarious to sit here and go through all of it. I'm gonna go back for the moment and do done because this is my favorite screen coming up. Have a garbage day.
Aww.
And then it says garbage day is Monday and Thursday, and I didn't read the rest of what it said, but I appreciate that. 999 feet below.
Yep.
Donut County.
Again, a dark, strange
So all the
pit.
stuff I've eaten.
All the stuff you've eaten, all of the people that you've eaten, just hang out, talk by the campfire.
Cool.
It's super creepy.
They're just laughing and chilling.
Oh, wah, wah, we're in a big pit. It's so odd and yet so cute and accessible. It makes me really happy that this game exists.
It looks to me like the story I'm going through right now, the raccoon is responsible for starting the hole. Because he's all like, oh man, whoever did it's probably a really cool and nice guy. But maybe not me though. Okay, yep, I saw Pup with my telescope. You mean my telescope? Okay, folks, stop fighting. I'm gonna try to skip through some of this story here so we can get to more gameplay. Very funny though. I'm appreciating the humor in this game very much so.
Yeah, I think the vibe's on point. I really, really like.
Look at that dog just rolling all around in the grass. Okay. Deploy the hole. I'm deploying a hole. It's such a tiny hole. Can I get this little? Why are the fish just jumping?
Well, because they're out of the water. You gotta.
Okay, let me see. I'm gonna
get some
get a
rocks
rock.
and grass, yeah.
Okay. Rocks and grass first to make the hole a little larger.
Good. Now you can get them fishes.
I can get them fishes. There's also some rocks and grass up here.
Yeah. This really appeals to that like completionist sense that I have in a lot of games.
Hey doggy. Hey, fall right back this way. Can you just? Yep. Thank you. Wes behind the camera just went no. Okay, so what else? Oh, there's grass.
It's in the glare of our studio lights, so
Got it.
And then,
okay.
there you go.
So now we're moving on to the next portion.
I think DC's
man.
going down. I think it's gonna happen eventually.
Well,
We're
I
probably
also
gonna
am
need
like,
him.
we're kind of a jerk for just like destroying all their stuff. Like I just took his paint bucket or water bucket or something and
So,
like.
and then you see what you can do is you can use.
Oh, I have water. I
Yeah.
was gonna say I have water in my hole now. Again, I'm on the internet.
That's.
Yep. Oh, but the birdie drinks the water. Cool, cool. Okay, so let's see.
So
Let's see what happens if I'm gonna put more water in the hole. Oh, I drank some of the river. Fishy, look, you're in water. You're saved. I did it.
But I think.
But now you're out. So sorry. How about this guy? What's up? Okay, I don't think there's any. Maybe do I need the water to like float the bird somehow or something?
Well, you see, the bird has little birdies in the window.
Yeah. So.
That might be a clue.
And they're following the water. Oh. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna let the bird drink that for right now. Can I get this doghouse? I can. Now the hole's bigger. All right, let's see. And I can't really swallow anything when I've got water in the hole. All right, birds in the window, how do I get you? Oh, fishes jump in the water. Hold on. Maybe the bird eats the fish. Let's go for that. Come here, fish. Yep, you, this way. This way. No, dumb bird. All right, oh, there's a ball. You think the one, here, come here, get the fish. No. Okay, I think that solution is not the solution I was looking for. What else might, damn it, what might the bird want to eat? I don't know. Okay, well, more fish pop up, so it's got to do with the fish, I'm guessing. Okay, yeah, that fish pops out every time, so I need the fish. Bird, eat the fish or something. Come back here, don't drink. Oh, can I just swallow this dumb bird?
No.
All right, let's see. I got another fish. And the camper, yeah, right? There you go. I took your coffee, jerk. Really, I'm the one that's doing all this. How about if I run the camper into the bird? I'm so off base. All right. I'm sure chat right now is like, duh, you have to blah, blah, blah solution.
Just get the last rock.
Nope. Hey, little birdies, I missed you. I'm sorry, I just separated the mama bird from the baby birds, and I missed. I'm a poor completionist. I didn't get 100%. So what was the solution to get the birds? Are you gonna tell me, or do I have to replay the level?
You have to replay the level.
Damn it!
I know.
Okay.
Actually, I don't know that there's a way to get them.
Oh, really?
I thought there was a thing with the fish, but.
I thought there was a thing with the fish too, but I may have just messed it up. Have a garbage day because I'm a raccoon. It's all making more sense now.
Again, these really, it's like almost Twin Peaksy.
Are you saying you're in love with a bird? Yeah. Is that legal? It's not about the bird. It's about the bird.
And see, and again, they get into sort of these cyclical conversations on stuff like that.
Yeah, you're hopeless, dude.
It's pretty great.
What is happening in that tent? No one knows.
Oh!
Coyote! Hopeless coyote. I thought you moved away. I did. Okay. Oh, Coyote owns the Donut County Donut Shop. Important.
Mm-hmm. Exposition.
Exposition, indeed. All around a campfire. My favorite kind of exposition. Is Mira the only human here? I'm sorry, Coyote. He sold vegetables. Okay.
You know, like you do.
Like you do. Campground. Coyote in the desert. Press X to deploy hole. Okay.
Bloop.
Okay, little rock.
Yeah, I just...
Look, Coyote watching. Oh, those are cans probably. Coyote's like, what you doing in my campfire? I'm just stealing your little seat cushion rock thingers here. We did say this is available on PC as well, right?
Yep.
Okay, good, because I gotta mess with that sensitivity. Wes said steal those crates. Oh yeah, look at that. Excuse me, can you just haul that corn right to me? Thank you so much. I'm gonna take this grass and this little rock And can I get under the fox? Nah, he's not interested.
Oh, get the fire.
Get the fire right now. What if I set all my people on fire, though?
Well,
What a jerk I am. Oh, now I can burn stuff.
What did you put? What did you get from the thing? You got the corn.
Oh, I'm gonna pop corn. Yeah. Yummy. Hey, birds. Can I eat the birdie? Whee. Hey, popcorn birdie. See you later, bird. Cool. You know what's really flammable? Tents.
Are they though? I kind of feel like most tent manufacturers, they try not to make.
I kind of feel like the nothing in the never-ending story.
Yeah.
You know?
Whee!
I'm just eating everything. Your dreams are all dying because I control this whole. Oh, look, now I can get some stuffy over here. Oh, look, and a little fence post. Great.
And again, just something so eerie about, like, you swallowed a fire, so now
Come here, fox.
this portal is like a flaming portal to popcorn
A flaming
land.
portal of death. I mean, you say popcorn land. I say potentially the 7th layer of hell. I mean, we don't know.
Could be.
Maybe this is gonna take a weird, like, goat sim turn where you're like, and this is purgatory. Wait, what?
Well, I'm gonna let you keep playing. We're getting the sign that we're almost out of time for today's show. This is Donut County. It's out now on PC, PS4, and Apple devices. I think you should pick it up. I had a lot of fun playing it, and you could probably do even better than Trisha did. Who knows?
Yeah.
True story.
I mean,
So-
if there's a way to do better at being a hole that swallows stuff,
Yeah.
I feel like it's maybe more of an experiential thing.
I absolutely
skill
also
thing.
want to see the speed run, like the person who does the speed run.
That would be such a wrong way to play this game. There's no wrong way
Totally.
to play this game.
No, but, like,
it would
again,
be a different way
like-
to play this game. Also, if you figure out how to get those baby birds, hit me up on that Twitter. Okay?
She really wants to eat a bunch of baby birds.
I hate not having answers
So,
to things.
another quick note on games before we wrap things up. A couple months ago on our show, we talked about the best games released in the first half of 2018. We told you all about Into the Breach, the bite-sized turn-based strategy game with a Pacific Rim robots versus alien theme. The game just released on the Nintendo Switch on Tuesday of this week, and that's the perfect platform for it. Switch-based robot alien battle. Good times. So you can get Into the Breach for just $14.99 via Nintendo's digital storefront. There are also a few more deals on that Newegg.com/Newegg Now deals page that we weren't able to get to yet. We don't want you to miss out on. Check out the Asus Zenfone 3 Deluxe 4G if you're in the market for a great unlocked Android phone. Because it's unlocked, it should work with any carrier. You can pick it up right now for $124 off. We also have a great deal on some of our favorite RAM, the G.Skill Trident ZRGB, available in 2 different speeds. That's some of the most popular RGB RAM around right now. You can get 32 gigabytes of 3000 speed RAM for $70 off, or 32 gigabytes of 3600 speed RAM for $90 off. Not too bad. So, if you're looking to upgrade your case, we have the Corsair Carbide series. Stylish, popular, and versatile case that's just $29.99 after mail-in rebate. We were talking audio deals earlier, and we didn't get around to this one. You can take a look at the Go Groove water-resistant Bluetooth speaker, one of the coolest-looking Bluetooth speakers we've ever seen, and you can get it for less than $20 right now on the Newegg Now page. And we also have a great selection of refurbished gear, everything from 4K Samsung TVs to high-end monitors and laptops, all carefully inspected, deeply discounted. Make sure you take a look. So that's going to do it for us on Newegg Now this week. Remember that you can take advantage of all of the deals on Newegg.com/Newegg Now all day long while supplies last. And we, again, huge thank you to Ryan from Creative Labs.
Yes.
Always love having him in to geek out over some audio stuff. It's a passion of mine, and I love having people that are similarly excited about that kind of gear.
Yes, and of course, thank you to everyone at home for watching. We'll be back next week with a very special extra long edition of Newegg Now, featuring expert guests from Asus, MSI, Thermaltake, and Intel. It's going to be a huge show with a ton of great deals and hardware tutorials, and you are not going to want to miss it.
So as always, thank you so much to the team here at Newegg, all the Newegg Now ninjas that keep this show running, making us look good.
Thank you, guys.
It's so much fun every week to come here and work with you guys and share this with the audience. So next week, big show. We'll see you then. super big. And this has been Newegg Now, and now you know.
Bye, guys.
Bam.